episode of Walk Me Through That, we're going to walk through 2 questions that you all sent me, and I'm just going to walk you through it. So we'll start with this one. The question came and said, should I date someone 17 years older than me? First, yes, why not? You're legal, he's legal, why not? Here's probably the really reason you wrote that is because it just seems like such a huge age gap. But let me say this up front. I know how old this person is who wrote this, and so I can add 17 and get the male's age. They're both legal. It's totally fine. But whenever you're thinking about dating someone that much older than you, I always go, what's making you think that you can't? Like, what are you thinking is going to be wrong with it? Age is not the issue, right? The issue is, or may not be, but here's where you go. Don't start with age. Start with, does he have the same value system that I have? Does he have the same beliefs about the things that matter to me most? If you have kids, I have kids. Does he have kids? How does he feel about kids? If y'all 17 years apart, y'all probably ain't having no more kids, but you just go ahead. Let's discuss that too. What are the finances? Treat it like regular questions you'd ask someone that you want to be with. In relationships, we forget to have the tough conversations. Age is not a tough conversation. It's a number. What you need to be asking are things about foundation. What is his family like? What is your family like? Will that meld? If there's kids involved, how does the finances play into it? What does his work life look like when it comes time for time off and vacations? Do fun things like figure out his Enneagram. Age is not where you should be. That's not where you should be. You should be in all the other areas that I just said. So our second one is a little bit deeper, but that's what we're here for. Walking you through the personal and the professional, the easy and the hard. So if you know me, then you know my story a little bit. And what I want to say today is this person said, when I'm going through this tough season, how do I know that it's going to end up okay? And so I ended up sharing my story with her and saying, one of the ways you're going to know it's okay is because God has never failed. He's never failed you. He's never failed anybody. And if he's taking you through it, he'll put you on the other side. We can't seem to imagine that, though, when we're going through it. We just can't. So, for instance, for me, the little, as you know, is 12. So, 13 years ago, I would have never thought that my life today would look like this. Not even, and I don't even mean material things. I would have never thought that I'd be married to a man who loves me like I've never been loved. I would have thought you couldn't have told me that my kids would need therapy. Now they're going to need it for some other stuff, but they don't need it for that. They're thriving. They're doing well. I couldn't imagine how my life would look, what my business would turn into, any of that 13 years ago. And you may think, well, 13 years is a long time. I don't want to go through this for 13 years. I didn't go through it for 13. I went through it for a year and 9 months. And then since then, I've been walking. I never stopped. I just kept going. Every little bit helps. And so whatever you're going through today, you will come out on the other side. You have to, A, just keep walking. You have to, B, truly, truly believe that God is for you. And you have to, C, believe in yourself. I always believed in myself. I continuously believe in myself. I know that I can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. And if you don't love yourself, nobody else is going to love you. We could take a minute and talk about loving yourself, believing in yourself, and rest. Those are 3 things that are must-haves when you are coming out of a life-changing experience. If you went into it not believing in yourself, one thing you should get out is I got to love myself more, which means I got to really begin to think of me, put myself first. These kids, they're going to be all right. I got to rest when my body says rest. I got to say no to them to say yes to me sometimes. And it doesn't make you a bad mom. It truly doesn't. You have to, in order to fully take care of them, and here's the key, and to teach them how to be their full selves, they have to see you be it. This life is meant to be lived, and I think we forget that when we decide that the trauma was too much, that the heartache was too much, that the job loss was too much. Don't do that to yourself. Really, really take time and think, this hard thing that I went through was truly meant to teach me something. I don't fully know the lesson yet, but I'm going to keep walking and keep figuring out what it's meant to teach me, and then I'm going to learn from it. When I was in the trauma, I didn't know what that was meant to teach me. I had no idea. And as a matter of fact, for the first 8 months of it, I wanted out. I didn't want it to teach me nothing. I was like, this in itself has taught me enough. Come get me. Somebody, please help me. I want to be out. And if you've heard me tell my story, then you know at the 8-month mark, I was like, hey, God, so what you should do is you should just take me now. I'm going to crawl into this bed with this boy in this coma, and you could take both of us. He barely here anyway. You could take both of us. My mom is the emergency contact at the school. Those kids, she'll come get them when nobody shows up. This life isn't for me. That's what I thought. And when he didn't, as you can see, because I'm still here, he didn't come get me. When he didn't come and get me, I said, okay, then there must be more for me. And I got to go find it. I got to figure out what it is, and I got to go find it. And so if you're going through something now and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to make it, you just need to take small steps. Don't try to figure it all out in one day. Don't think you're failing. You will misstep, you will fail, but you'll keep going. It does get easier. The grief, the pain, all of that gets easier. I didn't say it went away. I said it gets easier. And when it does, you will know, I got to keep going, and I can go on to the next thing and the next thing. 13 years later, I never imagined that I'd even be talking to you today. This wasn't what I was doing in this fashion. And so don't count yourself out. It will get so much better. And listen, I'm known for telling you the things that are hard. And so one of the hard things I'm going to say is it could get worse before it gets better. Know that. Understand that. Be okay with that. And you go, well, wait, why I gotta be okay with it getting worse before it gets better? Because of the promise. The promise is that it will get better. Our life can't be rainbows and fairies all the time. So we gotta be able to ride the storm. The whole point of what I do in coaching people every day is to give them these kind of messages of hope. The Bible says, my grandmother says, your mother probably says, trouble don't last always. But knowing what to do, having a circle of trust, and remembering the promise that it will get better is where you need to go. You got it? All right, let's drink our olive pop. You gotta sit down. We're talking to the people. So I got another question that said, how do I let go of past reservations and start my dream passion of being a life coach? And so you all sent these in. I don't know if they sent it to me because I'm a life coach or that's really what their dream passion is. It probably is that they want to be a life coach, right? So they thought, I'll ask a life coach. So my way of walking you through that is this. Past reservations are coming into your thought, mind, your spirit, all of that, because you are concerned about what other people think about you. You are concerned about what they're going to say because you used to be this way and now all of a sudden you want to give people advice. You had all of these hardships and now all of a sudden you want to give people advice, right? Because that's how people talk. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, that's what they're saying, right? How can she give me advice when she is a divorced person and a widow and on her third marriage? How can she give me advice when she's had 12 jobs? Those are all things that people could say about me. And I don't care. Because this is what I'm meant to do. So whether you're trying to be a life coach or a chef or a pastry chef and you thought, I tasted her food, she can't cook. She could go to school, learn how to be better, and then go and do that thing. You can't let past reservations stop you from being all that you can be. If you know me, you've heard me say this, so save it and send it to the person who needs to hear this. This is the only life you get. You don't get another one. You don't get another one. You're not an understudy for somebody else. So don't let your past define you. I don't let my past define me. You should neither. This is the only life you get, and so why wouldn't you live it to the best of your ability? Your past experiences, good and bad, led you to this moment. It made you who you are. I may not like the fact that I am divorced. I may not like the fact that I'm a widow, and we probably would have ended up divorced anyway because you know he was having 4 affairs. I may not like any of that. But it taught me so much, and it helps me to help others. See, because I've been cheated on, because I've been heartbroken, I can talk to you about how that feels. I can empathize with you about how that feels, right? So stop letting your past be the bad thing. Your past is part of your power. It's not all of your power, but it is a part of it. You learn from that. You're growing. Don't let your past define you. Don't let people define you. You walk into what is meant for you. Did I walk you through that? I hope I did. All right. That's our 3 questions for today. Email me or comment below if you need me to help you walk through something. Okay, that's the episode. I hope that I helped walk you through that. As always, email me so that I can help you walk through whatever you have going on personally or professionally. Don't do life alone. This is the only life you get. Let's make it count.